Lesson 43 is about simple, one-page, unbound reports. And these are business reports. There are also academic reports, but we are talking mainly about business reports, especially in this lesson. Now, business reports are single-spaced reports. They do not have indented paragraphs. The first lines of the paragraphs are not indented. Business documents, memos, letters, reports, newsletters are basically single-spaced documents with no first line indentions on the paragraphs. On page 2-93 in your textbook, it shows you the Unbound report format. And these are unbound means that there's nothing binding the pages of this report together. For example, if you go to the library and pull a book off the shelf, generally that book is going to have a spine on the left side of the book. That is a left-bound book. Left-bound reports also have something holding the pages of the report together on the left side of the pages. An unbound report does not. There is a small exception. So, for example, if your report is 2 or 3 pages long, you can have a staple in the upper left-hand corner right here holding the pages together, or you can have a paper clip holding the pages together. Those two methods of keeping the pages together are considered to be unbound report methods. A bound report is basically a permanent binding. But if you have a paper clip or a staple, you still have an unbound report because it's a temporary method of keeping the pages together. And on page 293, it does tell you at the top of the page that unbound reports can be attached with a staple or paper clip in the upper left-hand corner. Often reports are attached to an email. And if you look at this picture below, or if you look on page 293, or if you look at the screen here, we'll point out that this one-page report includes a lot of different parts and different locations on the page. Now, the first line of the report is going to be the title, or another term for the title is the main heading. In the book, I think in this book it uses the title, the title label. But if you ever hear me say, or hear in the book, or see in the book, or hear in a video, main heading, the main heading is the same thing as the title. Okay, I'm going to click on the title. Looking at the status bar down here, we're seeing that the title is at 1.8 inches. The title should be as close to 2 inches as you can get, because the first page of reports, the first page of chapters in a book generally don't start at the very top of the page. They're dropped down a little bit just to indicate that that's the very first page of that document or that chapter. I can turn on Show Hide, and you should too. And you can see that it took 3 enter keys to put this title down here close to the 2-inch line. If we click right there on that enter key and press the enter key a 4th time, the title now is at 2.1 inches. 2.1, 1.8, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. The title needs to be near the 2-inch line. So press the enter key 3 times like the book tells you, or 4 if it makes a difference to you. Okay, the margins of this report are all 1 inch, the default setting for the margins that we use in the class. The font size is 11-point font. You can see it here. Excuse me. And the line spacing is 1.08 with 8 points of space between your paragraphs. Now, when you start adding these styles here, the spacing after the paragraph is going to be different because the styles include their own settings for spacing after the side heading. Okay? The title section, put the title at about 2 inches, and then the book does tell you to tap the enter key 3 times. Capitalize the first letter of all main words. Main words are the first word in the line, any word that has 4 letters or more in it, any important words that are not 4 letters long, like not, like new, like old. All of those words are main words and should start with a capital letter. Press the enter key twice after the title. Now, you'll see that there's an enter key here at the end of the title line and an enter key after the title. Those are two enter keys. This one counts. So you don't want to see two enter keys after the title because that's three enter keys. So always count the enter key at the end of the line when you're counting enter keys. And then it says apply title style. If the title is long, shrink the font so that the title fits on one line. Alright, this is the default font size, but if it was longer, if the title was longer and it went to a second line, then you can select the title and you can change it to a smaller font size, but only if it goes down to 2 lines. And when you shrink the font size, do it by 1 point at a time. For example, if I click that and I come up here, I can type in 27 and press enter, and I can, if that doesn't get it, I can do it again, 26 and press enter, and you can eventually see that it'll go to 1 line. But I'm going to put it back at 28. Okay. Side headings. Key side headings at the left margin, right here. Don't indent them. Capitalize the first letter of all the main words in the side heading. The main word rules apply, just like they did on the title. Apply heading 1 style, which is right here. And I can click on this, and you can see that heading 1 has been applied. And then press the enter key 1 time after the side heading. Here it is. This is the enter key symbol at the end of the line. If you do this, you have 2 enter keys. Even though there's 1 here, you still have to count the enter key at the end of the line as the main enter key. Enumerated or bulleted items. Enumerations are lists of things that are numbered. This particular list is bulleted. I can very easily change it to a numbered list by just clicking the numbering button instead of the bullets button. This is now an enumeration, which is a list of items that have numbers in front of them. The difference between bullets and numbers is that if you use numbers, it's because something in the text of the document says there are 8 things listed below, or here are the step-by-step instructions to get to that particular location. And if you have a step-by-step, then you need to number them, or if it tells you you have a certain number of items, then you need to number them. But otherwise, bullets are fine. Any bullet, like I said previously, is good. It does not matter what style of bullet you use as long as it's relevant to the topic of the report. Whenever you do bullet some lines or number some lines, let the software indent the lines and the bullets to the default sets. Do not try and do them manually. Let the software do it. And you press the enter key 1 time after each of these lines. Let's turn on show hide. And you can see at the end of each one of these bulleted lines there's 1 enter key. Here's 1, here's 1, here's 1. You only press the enter key 1 time between these before you format the report. Yes, there will be a line of blank space between these, but as soon as you put the bullets or the numbers in, then Microsoft Word closes them up into a more tightly compacted group of lines that go together. You can see on page 294, I'm sorry, the amount of times that you press the enter key, the styles that you apply to the different parts of the report, like the title, or it's also known as the main heading, like the side headings, like the bulleted list. How many times you press the enter key between paragraphs all through the report. And as you can see at the bottom of page 294, this is an unbound report. No settings have been changed. The default settings still apply. There's nothing holding this report together. This is a 1-page report. There are no page numbers on it. It is a 1-page report that you can put in somebody's mailbox at work or lay on their desk. It does not have to have a cover on it, though often a business report will have a cover on it just because it looks more professional. But generally, if you have an unbound report, it's a simple professional document that doesn't require graphics or page numbers or anything out of the ordinary.